Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Today is March 7th, 2021. This is part 2 of the season of the donkey. I'm just going to go into the elephant because I see that what I have to show you is also for the time of of the children of Israel captivity. What do I mean by that? We're going to talk about, after I do the elephant, we're going to talk about 3/5 of a man, or 3/5 of a human. So that's coming up next after this. So let's get into it. Elephant, right? Elephant is comprised of two words, aleph and ant. Okay? Elephant. Elephant is the representative party of the conservative party, right wing thinking, business, idea, and creativity. Okay? It still has the attributes of a man. Is represented by your right hand. This is where the Messiah says, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. I'm paraphrasing. You can look that up. Meaning, don't let your social hand know what your political hand is doing. Okay? Why? Because one can manipulate the other. Meaning, you could go full spectrum on the left hand side, which would be what we call socialism and communism, or we could go full spectrum, which is called on the right hand side, which is called dictatorship, monarchy, and anarchy. Okay, so we still have the same principles on the right hand: God, you, talent, and natural law; thoughts for your throat; hand for your creativity; stomach is your power and your ego, your hips and your stomach area, your core area; and your sub-ego is your knees. Okay, that's what that represents. Or your treasury with your feet. Your legs and your knees are connected. Okay, so don't let nobody. So don't get confused. Your sub-ego, your subconscious, is connected with your land, treasury, resources, wealth, skills. Okay, because sometimes your actions, your leg actions, or your wealth will determine subconsciously how you think about and perceive your surroundings of yourself. And if it is enough of that instilled into you, whether negative or positive, whether negative or positive, let me slow down, it will either increase your stomach or your ego or your power. Okay? So that's what that is. The last 4 years we had a businessman in. This was the right wing. But what many people didn't realize, that before Trump came into the Republican Party, he was a Democrat, a laborer. Okay? But he was balanced, right? He was balanced. Why was he balanced? Okay? Before he got into politics, being a politician, he was balanced because he used his creative ideas, right, to work his labor ideas. All right, using his name as a monetary gain. He made his name a servant, a worker, a slave, right? And he was the master. Right? So he leased out his name. That's why he had Trump Towers. He leased out his name. That was his name became a servant for him, the physical him, the real him, to be to bring in prosperity. Okay? This principle is played out also on your driver's license. Okay? On your driver's license, you have a fictional name, a business name. Your name is in all capital letters. You are doing commerce with the Department of Motor Vehicle. Okay? They are a business entity. They're not a government. They are a government agency. Agency is the word, okay? Agency is the word. Now, elephant also represents a large land animal. Now, there's two aspects of the land animal. You have the male and the female. Remember I told you. That's why I drew the male and female, so you don't get it twisted. Usually the females stay together, okay? This is called the practice of group economics. Matriarchal group economics, okay? The male elephant usually leads, fulfilling the commands or giving the example. A man shall leave father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and they two shall become one flesh. They shall become the Ankh. Okay? The elephant also represents union, power, strength, instructions, learning, training, and control, in a sense of breaking someone to do the things that you want them to do. Prime example. You have big tech, right? In the Bible, they're called giants. Before you had giants, before physical giants, now we have technical giants, right? It is up to the elephant to be able to balance, right? The Republican Party to balance the giants, right? Enough not to stifle the worker or the business. Okay? That's why you hear they want to break up big tech. They want to break up unions. They don't want unions are too powerful. Because when you have the collective thought, the matriarchal collective thought, right? You have unity and power. Now, let me erase that. I hope you got that. I put a picture up there on Instagram for you. Let me erase this here. And I want to show you the semantics of the word. I hope you can hear me. I want to show you the semantics of the word elephant. Okay? Elephant also has a resonance with the word aleph. Okay? Or A, or alpha. Okay? Beginning first. Okay? Aleph in the Hebrew language is represented by an ox. If you see the ox is drawn sort of like this. Forgive me of my ox. He has a horn, face, horn, and the horns are pointed up to the heavens. Okay? That's your ox. That's your aleph. The aleph also represents father. It represents master, lord, bull, or ox. Okay? In the spiritual realm, it means high intellect. It means lofty thinking. It means the highest individual consciousness for the principles of life. What are the highest principle laws for life? The Ten Commandments. That is the highest principles for the laws of life. Okay? And we could go through some more of those things. In my next video, I will break down the 10 maxims of law, which I've done it before, but I'm going to break it down again. Give you the 10 maxims of law, so you'll see how the elephant and the donkey must be balanced. Okay? Right now, we have an unjust and an unbalanced system. So we have these breaking points that's going on. The word elephant also has the word ant in it. The word ant means to cut or the biter off, to cut things off. Usually when the Republican Party is in, they're trying to slash government, slash programs, slash big government influence. Why do we want to slash big government influence? Because when government becomes bigger than God, right, or nature, things are out of balance. That's why we hear the earth, right, crying out to the Most High in her birth pains. She's cleansing herself of all the man-made wrongdoings that have been happening over time. We haven't taken care of the Mother Earth, as we would say. You read in Proverbs 6 and 6 where it says, "Go to the ant," this is me paraphrasing, "Go to the ant, O thou sluggard, and study his ways." Ants, they are unions. You understand? They work together to build together. But if you ever look at their colony underneath, they have their individual sections and pods. Everybody is doing a part, playing a part for the collective good. Alright? Ephesians 6 and 5 tells you we must be shod with the preparation of peace of the peace of the gospel. The gospel is the kingdom, right? The kingdom. Kingdom is two words, king and dominion. The king represents the laws. It represents the elephant. It represents the household. Okay? Dominion represents substance, land, wealth, your treasury, and your whole physical being. Okay? Having your political, your social, your dietary, your spiritual, and your earthly substance or wealth. Okay? Now, that was Ephesians 6 and 15. Preparation with the peace of the gospel. You can read that. Luke 16 and 8. Okay? This is where this is based off of. I don't have much time, but I'm going to paraphrase it. Luke chapter 16 verse 8. Wait. Yeah, Luke chapter 16 verse 8. Sorry about that. Talks about the shrewd manager. I want you to go and read that when you get a chance. Luke chapter 16 verse 8. It's about the shrewd manager. And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. The Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Meaning, so basically what happened, I'm paraphrasing, basically what happened was the Messiah is giving a parable about a rich man who came home and was like, look, I'm hearing stuff about you doing bad business with the servants, with the workers. Okay? Bring me your books. Let me look at what you got going on. He like, man, I've been messing up the books. You know what I mean? The master gonna come in, he gonna fire me. I'm old. I've been working this job. If he see this, I'm gonna be, laboring. I'm too old to dig a hole. I'm too old to be working the streets. You know what I mean? I gotta do something to save myself. So he went out and talked to the debtors, the people who owed the master. And he was like, look, I'm gonna cut you a deal. Alright? He gonna make these people happy. He gonna cut them a deal. Look, you owe me 100 gallons of oil, give me 75. We call it cool. You know what I mean? Even though all the years prior, he been overcharging them, he been harassing them with the money, he been giving them interest rates sky high. You know what I mean? He won't be flexible with them. Now all of a sudden his life, his livelihood is on, his treasury is on the line, right? His name, his treasury is on the line. He want to fix the problem. And how did he fix the problem? He went and slashed some prices. That's what credit cards do when they come. when they don't want to lose that business. Look, they already treating you wrong, right? They don't want to lose your business when you're looking at the bucks. So they like, look, we'll forgive that. Stick with us, stay with us, so we can continue to do business, okay? So that the shareholders or the stockholders don't get upset of what we did. Okay, that's me paraphrasing. You should really read that. Luke chapter 16 and verse 8. It's a good thing. Proverbs 24, 3 and 4 tells you that wisdom is what builds the house. Remember, wisdom is application of knowledge. You can have knowledge but are not wise enough to apply that knowledge. Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 24 and 24 through 27. That's Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 24 through 27. So, 24 through 27, I'm just going to read one or two of these. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. Okay? Reading the red words of the Messiah and doing them, you are building yourself a foundation. A foundation that will be in the holy city. Revelation 21 and 21 says that the streets of the city will be paved in gold. What did I tell you in my last video? If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and throw the yard. Give me a thumbs up if you like. If you're gaining anything, leave your comments and your questions. But Revelations 21 and 21, the city streets are paved with gold. When you walk on the street, what's walking? What's touching the substance of gold? It's your treasury. It's your legs. He's telling you the sovereignty, the wisdom, the land. These are your goal. This is your goal. Okay? In the other video, part 1, I broke that down. How you can have a balance, right? And you probably heard Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where he talks about the different quadrants where you can be at. But he's trying to bring you to the business side, right? Without you having the social side. You have to have both. It has to be a balance. And you have to have your spiritual side. And you have to take care of your earth. Okay? Or you're my son. Or you're my son. You heard what I said? My son. Mother and son. So that is the elephant. Nature of the elephant. Okay? That's what's going on. The next video, I'm going to break down the 3/5 of a human. Why are we operating in this time as 3/5 of a human? 75 people is conservative, 75 is liberal, and is divided. You parted and divided. And not only are you parted and divided, they want the elephant to be parted and divided into parties, into sects, into groups. Remember, an elephant has 2 tusks, and on that tusk there's ivory. Ivory is treasury. Treasury is a medium of exchange. The medium of exchange controls the diet. People work for food, clothing, and shelter. That's what you operate for. The last thing I want to tell you is that the red words from the Messiah is important. Understanding what the kingdom is. Understanding the season that we're in. We are in the donkey season. And you're having an infight between the two because the house is divided. Okay? Divided by parties. We'll go more into that when we talk about the 3/5 of a man. Or 3/5 of a human. How does that play out for us black and brown? Actually for the whole world, because everyone is under the spell of the 3/5 of a man now, whether you know it or not. Shalom, shalom. Give me your likes, your thumbs up. Follow along, because we're going to keep going. We're going to have some more wisdom, some more knowledge. Soon I'll tell you how you can preserve yourself and to be able to prosper in these next 4 years as the 4th seal continues to open up and play out, bringing a rebalance of the whole world. Shalom, shalom.